I teach people how to build single family new construction with no experience and leveraging other people's resources and money.
You sitting somewhere and got them on the same page, so that's really dope. That just means that people trust you and you have good leadership to be able to maneuver that.
So, you know, a lot of people talk about OPM, other people's money. That's burnt out. What it's really about is OPR, other people's relationships and resources. That's really what's going to get you to the finish line, to the success rate, all the information you need to execute whatever play you're trying to run, whether it's real estate, stocks, trucking, whatever you in.
He said, you don't even know who I am. I'm like, no. He said, I stopped you one day in the store and you had gave me some advice. And that advice is exactly what I need to go ahead and, you know, do my deals. I was like, dang. So now he connected me with somebody, but you never know how things. So when you say other people relationships, I'm a testament to that. So I love that you said that.
When people get connected to somebody that's, you know, maybe looked at as higher up or authority, we got to stop wasting time trying to be right next to him, and let's get next to his attorney, his man running his back end system. We can gain all the information that guy got and also all the resources he got by getting connected to him. The difference between the new construction and the renovation hard money loan is you don't have to put the first phase of construction up. Why? Because the first phase of construction is already done, because we have the land, we have our architectural plans, we have our permits, and we may have done any land development that's needed as far as tearing trees down and surveys. So as soon as I close on my hard money loan, I'm able to go submit for a draw the next day, anywhere from 60 to 100 grand.
You start getting into 100, 200, 300, $400,000 rehab budgets. Like, that's a lot of money just to be playing with that you got one shot on. It's not like you're gonna mess the 400 up and then the lender gonna be like, how give you another 400? It don't work like that. So if you're about to start dabbling into like these bigger projects, get a mentor. How would somebody, let's say somebody went to the land bank, they, you know, got their land, whatever. How would you find, or how would you vet, you know, a hard money lender if somebody watching is like, what would you say to them?
If you somebody who you might be low on your interest-free business funding, I got a hard money lender that'll lend you the money with deferred payments.
Yeah, that's good.
I suggest people who just getting started to go with the deferred payment lender.
Hell yeah.
You pay a little more, but that interest payment over your head every month, it ain't cool. You might have the money, but it's like, don't nobody like paying that interest every single month. Why not pay it when we reach the point of liquidation?
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Funded and Closed podcast. I'm your host, Derek Boone, and I specifically put this podcast together for individuals like you who are looking to learn more, grow more, make more money, get into real estate, get into business, or just do something more with what you have right now. And I love podcasts and I love talking to you guys because I know for me, I listened to a lot of podcasts when I was getting started. It is not necessarily just the gain that you get from people listening to podcasts, but also now you're putting yourself in an environment, because a lot of us aren't in environments where a lot of us weren't born and you already in a $10 million house, or you already talking to multimillionaires or billionaires, whatever the case may be. So you had to put yourself in that environment. Sometimes you can't physically put yourself in an environment, but you can virtually put yourself in an environment. So listening to podcasts, like I used to do something when I on my way to work, when I wanted to get out of that 9 to 5 mindset. I used to listen to podcasts on my way to work and back. And that was one of the things that helped change the mental to go ahead and get started. So today, as you guys know, I always have some of the best guests on talking about all different types of real estate, development, business, just different ways to make money. And my goal is for you to take this information and you start implementing some of the things and do it in your own way, or copy and paste. There's nothing wrong with copying as long as you copy the right cat. So without further ado, I want to introduce an amazing individual. He has a crazy story and he's someone that really started from nothing and made different things happen. So I want to introduce a real estate developer. He has a crazy story, done millions of dollars in development and really getting active. My guy, Mike Jenkins. What's up, bro?
What's happening?
How you feeling, man?
Good, man. Appreciate. Glad to be here with you.
Yo,
bro.
Quick question. This your first time in Philly?
Second time. My man Workout brought me down here a couple months ago.
Workout. That's my brother, man. But well, welcome back to Philly. I'm glad you came down. I'm glad you're here on the pod. So what we want to do is we want to get right into it. So a couple things. You just introduce yourself, who you are, and what specific you do. Because I know I gave you an intro, but I know nobody can introduce themselves better than yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Mike Jenkins. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I teach people how to build single-family new construction with no experience and leveraging other people's resources and money.
Dope. So, quick, you said Columbus, Ohio. Remember at one point, it might still be going on now, but remember at one point, everybody was rushing Ohio to get like $10,000, $20,000 duplex five. Is that Columbus or that's a different area?
That's Columbus, but that's 08, 09, before the crash, all that. These wholesalers acting up nowadays. That's why it's like you'd be better off buying some land and building from the ground up.
Got you. So how did you get started? You got started in development or you started out, fixing, flipping, rentals? Like, how did you get started?
So I actually got started. I bought my first property from the land bank for $5,000 before I went to federal prison. Okay. I was able to manage that flip from federal prison.
Hold up. Wait a minute. All right, this is getting good. All right, so wait. You bought the property from the land bank for $5,000 before you went in, got booked. And then you was able to manage it while you was booked. How long you had to sit for?
About 3 years. And
you was managing it while you was down?
Had my brother coming to the visiting room every chance he got. Left him with the last little bit of money I had. I designed it, told him tear out the wall, make an open kitchen and living room set, and that was the play to get started. So I knew I had to do something different.
Oh, that's hot. So y'all sold it or like you still kept it?
No, we sold it. So I've come from the street, so I'm in hustle mentality. So I'm trying to run a bag up, right? Yeah. So we end up having about 50, 60 grand in it, had all the family members in there working on it and stuff like that. We ended up selling at the top of the market at $120. While I was down, I told him take the money and run the same play back with the land bank again. So I was actually, while I came home, while we was in the middle of the second flip.
That's dope. So a couple things I want to just, give you your flowers on. It takes you and your family. It takes a lot to have a village really kind of like keeping things in motion. I know a lot of people that, got booked and I don't say they forgot about, but they forgot about like people ain't really dealing with them no more while they book or keeping things afloat. So that's dope that your brother and your family was doing it. And the second thing is they had a discipline to tell your folks to take the money and profits that you made to go ahead and run the play right back. A lot of people come into money like, yo, hold this because when I get home, I want to have that ready. You told them to take another risk and run it right back. Like a lot of people don't got that type of mindset.
Yeah, for sure. So that mindset came from where I come from. I've been a hustler. At the age of 16, I'm hood rich with $100 grand. So I just took those same tactics that we learned. So we learned how to run a business by reing up, buying at, bulk, wholesale, breaking it down, all that kind of stuff. So I just was like, well, let me apply this to the real estate. And the first thing that came to my mind was house flipping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I can't do nothing with the money. Let's keep it going. We want to run it up.
That's dope. Like I don't want to say too much on that, but I really think that's dope. It's hard to get people on the same page and they both in the same room, let alone you sitting somewhere and got them on the same page. So that's really dope. That just means that people trust you and you have good leadership to be able to maneuver that. So I just definitely want to give you flowers on that. So you did the second flip. What was that transition right after that? Y'all finished that second flip and then when you said you came home.
So I'm in the halfway house and bro, contractors running off, the same story. But, me and bro, we got different dads. So, he ain't got the same stride I got. So I'm in the halfway house on work release, going to the project every day. So it got to a point where I had to come home and take everything over, start dealing with contractors, start managing and stuff myself. So I was able to execute that build and actually profit from it. And then I ran the play on everything I learned behind the wall, which was creative financing, hard money lenders, interest-free business credit cards. And I was able to go, I ended up wholesaling a couple deals. And then I was able to go buy a couple deals and borrow about $650,000 between 2 hard money loans.
How'd you learn about the hard money loans? Like, especially coming home, like, was you learning stuff while you was down, or you like when you got out, you tapped in with somebody and just learned it?
Nah, it was full rehabilitation. So I wish I would have knew about hard money loans before I went in, right? So I got in, the feds, it's like a college of business minded people. So that's all people was talking about. You got real estate, you got trucks, and you got stocks. They just one mind tractor on those 3
That's
things.
what everybody talking about in there.
That's all they talking about. Real estate, trucks, and stocks. If you trying to come home and do the right thing. So I just educated myself, talked to a few people that had dealt with it. And I said, damn, hard money lenders, they give you $1 million with, messed up record, no experience, all that kind of stuff. So came home, got with a realtor that was doing $40 million a year in sales. She plugged me in with the hard money lender. I was able to leverage her relationship, and able to get approved. I had about a 700 credit score.
Oh, word.
Coming home because I had my wife put me on her credit cards as the authorized user play. So the whole time I'm gone, I'm building the credit up, right? So I was able to get approved. And that's kind of how I came across the creative financing and just kind of dive deep into it. My first hard money loan, I had to put 25% down with no experience, 25% down. What
was the purchase price on that?
I want to say
was that the house or that was a land?
That was house. That was a house. I want to say it was 120.
Okay.
Was the purchase price.
So you had to put around like 30 grand or whatever.
Yeah, about 30 grand on it. Rehab budget was about $125. So throughout that process, I discovered my talents for architectural designs. Cause where I come from, I always like to stay fly, get dressed, you know what I'm saying, party, stuff like that. So I always like nice clothes, nice ambiances, right? So I used to renovate my rental properties and my trap houses. It was always luxury. I'm on high-end luxury. So I took it to the renovation field and people coming through like, man, who designed this crib? I'm like, I designed it. They like, nah, but who designed? Like, who did it?
Yo, I know you're enjoying this episode. I know you're getting a lot of game and a lot of value, a lot of information. But is it okay for me to give you even more value? Is it okay for me to give you more information? So if you just said yes, what I want to do is I want to give you access to a free training that I'm having, 100% free. You can log in. If you don't like it, you can log off. It's 100% free. In this training, I'm going to show you guys the 4 steps that I utilize to be able to buy properties, rent properties, make money on property. Like this building we're in right now is 100% mine. And we do that. And I have done that doing those 4 simple steps. So what I want you guys to do is go to fundedandclosed.com, just like the podcast, but fundedandclosed.com. You're going to be able to register for the free training. Like I said, 100% free. And it's going to give you those 4 steps that I utilize to build my real estate empire. And you can do this exactly where you at right now. So look, we're going to get back to the episode. But before we go ahead and finish, press pause, go to that website, go ahead and RSVP for the training. And I'm going to see you soon. Let's get to it.
I'm like, me, I just look like this.
Yeah.
They like, well, are you an architect? So that started sticking with me. So then I dived into working with CAD systems and educating myself about architectural designs and, the softwares and stuff like that. So that house was able to sell for, I want to say $450. So it was a nice little chunk of change. So what I did with that was I actually, I said, you know what? I'm going to be done with these flips because there's too many contingencies. I'm around too many people that's doing new construction. I went in contract to sell that house, and I put a piece of land in contract contingent upon that house selling. They accepted my offer. Everything went through, and that's what took me to new development.
So wait, so you was selling the house, but you was in contract to buy another piece of land.
So
you said, hey, look, listen, if this sells, I'll buy the land.
Yeah.
Dope. So let me ask you this, personal. Was it a culture shock or was it scary going from buying that first piece of land and getting to your first development? Because a lot of people, even for me, I'll say, getting into that development is a scary space when you've been in, let's say, like regular rehabs for so long.
Most definitely. So the biggest thing I was scared of was the soft end, the land development, the soft costs, and the foundation phase. So I was
That's what everybody. Yeah.
I was a little iffy, right? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna just hire a GC. You know what I'm saying? But what I should have did was hired a mentor. That's where I went wrong at.
Mm-hmm.
Hired a GC. GC came in, got me.
Damn.
Doing the work, not paying the contractors, giving me lien releases. Took me through the mud. You know what I'm saying? Wasted 8 months of my time. Burnt up damn near 300 grand. My first. So I'm thinking that all my experience transfer over. I found out quick it didn't.
That rehab and development, two different things.
It's two different worlds. You know what I'm saying? So I learned through trial and error.
Dang. So how did you recoup from that 8 months? That 8 months, clearly you didn't, but that 8 months where you like, yo, I'm gonna chalk this crap and now I'm gonna just like try something else, or you stuck with it like right out the gate?
So I was stuck with it. Luckily, I had an 18-month hard money loan, so I still had time. So I was able to. I was able to
That's
pull.
Good.
I was able to pull in somebody else. I was able to learn from the experience. So I was on site every day. So I met good contractors. I met bad subcontractors. We talking about. I was getting a lot of exposure.
Mm-hmm.
So I was soaking up the game the whole time. So although the contractor got over on me, I'm still paying attention, learning.
Yeah.
And you know, somebody else would have been like, damn, I'm ready to check out, go
Mm-hmm.
get a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I took it as a learning experience versus a failure.
Mm-hmm.
So I just took it, ran with it, and I was able to actually finish the project. Although it was in a negative on profits, I went in a positive on relationships, on contractors, on build my relationship better with the land bank, getting tied into the politicians to the point where now I'm getting invited to black galas by the mayor of the city. I just got approved for the $300,000 grant through the Affordable Housing Trust through completing one of the Affordable Housing Trust programs called the EDAP program, Emerging Developers Accelerator Program. So I just didn't quit. That was the only thing that kept me through it.
That's dope. I want you to say that again. You was negative on profit, but positive in relationships. That's hot. That's hot. Because a lot of people will be negative in relationships just so they can make sure they profit. And that's short-term thinking, not long-term thinking. They can't never go back to them lenders, can't never go back to those other things again. So I like that. That was hot. That was definitely hot.
So, a lot of people talk about OPM,
Mm-hmm.
other people's money. That's burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
What it's really about is OPR,
Mm-hmm.
other people's relationships
Mm-hmm.
and resources.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what's going to get you to the finish line, to the success rate, all the information you need to execute whatever play you're trying to run, whether it's real estate, stocks, trucking, whatever you in.
Bro, I was on Instagram this morning and I said this. So I go running in the mornings and my knee was hurting real bad this morning. So I ran like a mile and then I said, I'm gonna just walk. So I walk and I'm just having a little rant on Instagram, but I said this and I was like, yo, people think about that one big opportunity or this got to be a millionaire, a billionaire for me to, for me to connect with them, for me to build with them. But I said this and I think about it like this, the opportunity is the opportunity. So like, for example, I might burn a bridge with you or don't want to connect with you that bad or do something weird to you, but you're actually connected to the mayor or you connected to the lender I need or you connected with such and such. And now I'm thinking you just, regular, whoever, but now you're connected to the person that I really need. And now you giving them a bad rating review of me and that messes up the long term. So it's good to, like you said, make sure you keep other people, when you say other people's relationships, that hit me because it's like your relationship with me, but I need a relationship you have with them, which is going to kind of put the whole thing together for me. And I believe it. That's why I'm always good to people, always make sure I respect everyone because you never know who, first of all, you just need to be like that in general. But then the second thing is you never know who that person actually knows. It's been a lot of things that happened where I got in certain rooms and they was like, yo, such and such told me about you. So I wanted to make sure I connect with you. Like, dang. It might be somebody I haven't talked to in 6 months. It's just like I never did nothing corny to them. So they brought me up in a reference to, hey, I know somebody that's thinking about selling a house. You should call my guy Boone. He should do it. Or I see him on Instagram. He should do it. He gave me some advice. I remember this one person told me, they was like, yo, I bought this house. Or I bought two. This guy I met at this event. He said, yo, I bought 2 duplexes. I'm like, oh, that's dope. He said, you don't even know who I am. I'm like, no. He said, I stopped you one day in the store and you had gave me some advice. And that advice was exactly what I need to go ahead and, do my deals. I was like, dang. So now he connected me with somebody, but you never know how things. So when you say other people's relationships, I'm a testament to that. So I love that you said that, bro. For sure.
Yeah, that's really what we need to be pushing is other people's relationships. And one thing, when people get connected to somebody that's, maybe looked at as higher up or authority, we got to stop wasting time trying to be right next to him, and let's get next to his attorney, his man running his back end system. Because as long as we build a relationship with them, we can gain all the information that guy got and also all the resources he got by getting connected to him. So, a lot of people, they talk about the Jay-Z thing. Would you take the lunch or would you take the 500,000?
Yeah, 500,000.
You know what I'm saying? What I would take is, let me get your attorney's contact. Because your attorney run everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a super good point. I actually hired a guy that ran this one dude, I ain't gonna say his name on grand, but he got this big business, let's just say. I hired a guy that helped build that business up, behind the scenes guy, nobody know who he is. And I hired him and he helped me with some of my systems and my business, stuff like that. So what you're saying is true. Like, not always focus like the main guy, but who is the person behind the scenes helping them shovel, helping them put the thing together, helping them game plan and mastermind and connect with them. I'm getting some of the information from that I need regardless. So you talked about land bank, and I think that's something that nobody really talks about, or they talk about it. They don't fully understand, or they can't explain it specifically like the right way. So can you explain what exactly is the land bank and like how you getting a house for $5,000 from the land bank?
So a lot of people sleep on the land bank, because they stuck on tax deeds, wholesaling, looking at high grass and all that, right? But what the land bank is they are the number one wholesale company in your local city that sells land and houses as a nonprofit. So they target minority investors, and their goal is to redevelop the city on a budget, right? So I give you a play I ran, and I want everybody out here to go run this play. So I bought my first property for $5,000 from the land bank, Columbus, Ohio. Everything shifts. So now we 2025, the land bank is focused more on redeveloping land and not redeveloping existing houses, because right now the United States is 4.5 million units short of housing units. It's too many people here and not enough housing units. So the land bank has an incentive to develop more land, to develop more units. So we're going to take this play. I bought a piece of land from the land bank for $7,000. I bought another piece of land from a wholesaler 2 blocks away, same area, for $70,000. So you talking about getting land for 90% off market. Not only that, I purchased that piece of land for $7,000 off an interest-free business credit card. And then I went and ran a play with a hard money lender to get 100% construction financing, because I own the land outright. So when you own the land outright, you can leverage it as equity in the deal, kind of like when the 90-10 on the flip, where they want you to bring 10% to the deal towards the flip. That land is your 10%. You need $500,000 to build it. They give you the full $500,000 to build it. Not only that, the difference between the new construction and the renovation hard money loan is you don't have to put the first phase of construction up. Why? Because the first phase of construction is already done, because we have the land, we have our architectural plans, we have our permits, and we may have done any land development that's needed as far as tearing trees down and surveys. So as soon as I close on my hard money loan, I'm able to go submit for a draw the next day, anywhere from 60 to 100 grand. That's going to put money back in my pocket, and that's going to put me in position to keep the construction process going, to where I stay ahead of the play versus trying to play catch up.
That's some game. So you advise buying the land cash or utilizing, credit cards or whatever to buy the land. So you going to the lender with more skin in the game, I would say.
100%. So a lot of people, they always focus on OPM and using the interest-free business funding as OPM, but a lot of people be worried about private money lenders and leveraging people's trust funds and stuff like that and borrowing money from family members. But what we got to focus on is putting ourselves in position to borrow the money from the bank ourselves, so we don't have an individual down our back. We could take the bank. We can interest-free payments, 12 months, 18 months. We can make that payment throughout the duration. But nobody wants to owe a human being the money. We want to owe an entity the money. You know what I'm saying? So we leverage the interest-free business funding to go get the hard money loan to run the play. And the hard money lender they're only going to lend you up to 70% of the value, the ARV. So they want you to be 30% in. You don't want to be, you want to at least be 30% in on the deal as far as profit margins go.
Yeah.
If you do the numbers on that, we talking 100K or better.
Yeah. A
lot of people, you get to the $700,000-$800,000 houses you build, and you're looking at $200,000-$300,000 profits, 6 to 8 months. If you really know what you're doing, if you hire the right mentor.
Yeah. No, that's good. Especially when you getting into development, like you said, that's a whole nother ballpark. That's a whole nother game. You really want to have real estate in general, but especially when you get into these, my advice is like get a mentorship, get a mentor regardless. But you start getting into $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 rehab budgets, like that's a lot of money just to be playing with that you got one shot on. It's not like you're gonna mess the 400 up and then the lender gonna be like, I'll give you another 400. It don't work like that. So if you're about to start dabbling into like these bigger projects, get a mentor. And I'm telling you guys personally, you doing that one flip is a big difference from you doing a 3,000 square foot, 5,000 square foot project with a $400,000 budget built from the ground up. Even if as a rehab, it's a night and day. Yes, it's a kitchen just like that has a kitchen, there's a bed, but it's a whole nother ball game, especially when you get into bigger projects, more units, whatever it is. You might have different codes. You might have different permits you need. It starts getting a little different. So you want to make sure you are getting someone that actually knows what they're doing so they can guide you, because you, like I said, you don't get a second chance with that money. You don't want to go ahead and get this 400,000, burn it, mess it up, and then like, hey, can I get another one? Like, I'm like, no, like you got to finish that out of your pocket. So get somebody that knows what they're doing. They can help and they can guide you.
Yeah. I got a question for you. I remember we had a conversation, before I went viral and all that kind of stuff, on a 1% call. And I asked you, was you getting into any development? So fast forward to now, have you started any new developments or thought about executing on it?
I actually bought a bunch of land that I own, and my permit just came back for my one piece of land last month or a month and a half now. And I kind of been slow walking. I don't say slow walking it, but I've been interviewing basically like 2 or 3 GCs and who I want to hire to really run a project. They all qualify, all 3 of them qualified. But I had a conversation with one of my friend tours, I would say, and he was like, yo, besides the foundation is all shit you already know how to do with your eyes closed. Like rehabbing houses, I know do my eyes closed. He said, yo, that foundation is not as deep as you think it is. Like it is different, but it's not as deep. So I actually just submitted my documents to my lender to get the construction loan. And I'm about to go ahead and get started, but I'm gonna just GC the whole thing myself.
Yeah, so can I give you a little bit of game on that? So the foundation.
But this is what I've been going with the last 30 days though.
That's good. So I say it's 8 billion people on the earth, right? Roundabout. I think every single person on the earth at one point of time, they want to build a house from the ground up, whether it's to live in, to rent, or to sell, right? The foundation phase is the scariest phase. But what people don't know is you got companies out there that will do your excavation, tie in your sewer, and tie in your water, put your foundation up, and have you ready for framing with $0 out of pocket on what's called a 30-day net pay account. So literally, you hand them off your plans, and they put your foundation up, waterproof it, pass the inspections and everything, and you don't pay them until after they invoice you, 30 days after they invoice you. So now, as a rehabber, we know the framing phase. when it comes to the rehabbing. So I would suggest that you pay a little more extra money, but your foundation's solid.
Yeah.
And you ain't paying no money out of pocket.
Yeah.
You talking 30, and most of the times it might take them 30 days after they finish the work to even bill you.
I dealt with a couple companies like for rehabs in different phases for net 30s, and they definitely be slow walking that bill. They be slow walking for, like, you might hire an installation company or like not just a regular plumber, but like a plumbing company. They slow walk them bills. It's like they billing service be backed up. They slow walk them bills. You be like, dang, I want to pay you. Like, I don't want you to go ahead and put no lien, or like, I want to give you all this money. Oh, we ain't get a chance to. We'll send the bill out tomorrow. Like,
yeah, it's just like when you're dealing with good people.
Mm-hmm.
So the contractor world, it's got this bad stigma on it, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people getting into real estate and they're just hiring contractors with no experience, with no mentor. So they don't know how to manage the contractors, and they don't know how to read a bad contractor.
Yeah.
There's actually good contractors out here.
Mm-hmm.
They're making millions of dollars. So I know I'm not worried about billing you for that little 30, 40 grand you owe me.
Mm-hmm.
I get to it when I get to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, different from when you running around in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And your man's might have hit you off, and he like, bro, just keep that for a minute. I'm running around. When you dealing with good people, it's all good business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of contractors you want to deal with.
Yeah.
But you got to know how to vet them, and then you also got to know how to manage them and communicate with them. And you got to build that trust with them.
Yo, this might be crazy, but one of my main contractors, I don't even know how much you gonna charge me. No lie, like I might send him my house, be like, yo, listen, I need he do a lot of carpentry and a lot of like he could pretty much do everything. Him and his so basically it's him and his sons. He brought his sons over from Mexico, and he does everything, but he won't mess with no electric. He won't mess with no HVAC, and he don't really like touching the sheetrock. He can do the sheetrock, but he like hire them other guys. They're gonna get it done faster. But when it comes to like everything else besides, like, he do the plumbing, he can do besides those things, him and his 4 sons, they knock the whole thing out. I don't ask him how much. Like, but it's kind of like what you said. Now, I'm not telling everybody to do this. This is just something I developed. In the beginning, I did. But like you said, you do good business. I know he not hit me over the head. I know he not gonna text me. I know he get that bread from me after the fact. I'm like, I got this new house. I need you to go check this joint out. He gonna check it out. Boom. I'm like, yo, you can get it done? He like, yeah. Send him, he go get it done. And then he'll call me like a week later, like, yo, listen, this is gonna be 10,000. My numbers be freaking crazy. That's why I don't stress it. He be like, gonna be 10,000. I'll be like, all right, you're gonna go to the bank, pull the cash out so I can give it to you, later in the road. But I'm saying that to say, because like what you said, when you do good business with people, he not stressing me. The only time he'll stress me is like when he need money. Like, yo, I need that. He'll let me know, like, hey, I'm gonna need some money. Other than that, like, I think I got a balance with him right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but then also me on my end, he always do good business. He never try to hit me over the head. So I don't be stressing about like, yo, how much you gonna charge me? How much is this? I already know it's gonna be way better than any price. Any price. You might pay 10,000, so I'll pay 5. You might pay 20,000, so I might pay 11. So it's like, but what you said, you do good business, and it's to the point where like sometimes like I'm doing this one house, like I ain't been in the house like 2 weeks. Like, yo, you go there, you finish it up. Like and I don't plan on going over there. Like, yo, send me pictures and videos when it's done. Full disclosure, I'm not telling everybody to do that, but I'm saying reference what you said, good business. When you find contractors that do good business, they not stressing you about the money, you not stressing them about the price. It's all shake hands.
Yeah, and that's pretty much when you get with the right mentor and you get the experience and you build those relationships, that's how the game go. But everybody look at real estate and new construction as one of the riskiest businesses. But then you wonder why you got people like you, millionaire real estate guy, people like me, you know what I'm saying? And then now you graduating over to new development. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a good game to be in, but you gotta have the right leadership and education to run the play. Too many people think that they can just go buy a house and get to it, and then they want to downplay it. You know what I'm saying? Then they want to throw the towel in and all that. We gotta stick to it. One
thing I say is like, just don't give up. Like, you can slow down a little bit, but don't quit. Like life can get a little rough. Your projects can get a little rough. You know what? Hey, I was buying X amount of houses a year. You know, it got a little rough. I'm gonna slow down. I'm gonna just buy one this year. You know what I mean? I'm gonna finish up my inventory from last year. But just don't quit. Don't stop. Like just keep that stuff going because when you in the thick of, one thing, bro, when you in the thick of the storm, it seemed like forever. When you get out of it, you realize like that really wasn't that long. When I think about it, even for you, I don't know how you felt about it, but when you was booked, you might have thought like this probably was forever. And then when you get out of it, you like, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Like it was long, but it wasn't like I still got more time ahead of me than I had behind me. And this is for anybody, when you in the thick of like going through a bad deal, I don't know, going through a divorce, going through, you know, you might be dealing with something with your kids or going through this job that you hate. Like when you in the thick of that stuff, it seems like it's never ending and this crap is forever. Then when you finally get out of it, you like, I really made it out of it. That really wasn't as bad. It was bad, but it wasn't as bad as like, it didn't kill me. And that's what you gotta think about. Like, dang, I can get through this. This crap is not forever. And when you do that, I like to say you gotta play mind games with yourself.
You do. Mm-hmm. You gotta develop the mindset to where we gotta keep going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing, a blessing that come from the curse of being in the streets. Mm-hmm. I already took the highest risk. Yeah. I used to risk my freedom for money. Yeah. For a couple $100,000 here and there. So whatever come with corporate America, whatever obstacles I come across, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's literally, they be like, well, how you sleep at night with this and that? It's nothing. Yeah. I got my freedom at the end of the day. We can go make up some bread that we lost. You know what I'm saying? But the everyday person, they had to develop that mindset. Mm-hmm. They got to develop the mindset to keep going. That's
a fact. So one last thing I want to ask, in reference to, so you talk on the land bank. I think that was really dope. I think that's good. That's something different that nobody talked about. You talked about, you know, lenders. How was somebody, let's say somebody went to the land bank, they, you know, got their land, whatever. How would you find or how would you vet, you know, a hard money lender if somebody watching is like, what would you say to them?
To figure out what hard money lender you want to go with. Mm-hmm. It's 1,000 hard money lenders out here. They all pretty much got the same type of product. Shit. It's the same type of product. So it really ain't no vetting out to do. It's just about what situation you in and who's willing to give you the best money, right? So for instance,
hey, so I know you're enjoying the episode so far, and you're probably hearing some of the plays, but you might be like, my credit isn't there. I don't have the best credit. I may not be able to run some of the plays they're saying. So what I want to do is I want to give you an opportunity for free credit repair. Hey, I said it, 100% free credit repair. I'm going to drop the website below where you can go ahead and get your credit repaired for free. All you have to do is have the credit monitoring software so that way you can pull your reports and this will be fixed for free. All you have to do is go to nochargecreditrepair.com. It is 100% free. All you have to do is have the credit monitoring software so you can actually pull the report and actually see what the score is on all three bureaus. And then this system is going to fix your credit for free. So again, nochargecreditrepair.com, and you guys can get access to that. Look, there is no reason why you can't win. This is the link for you to get your credit repair. You're watching a podcast episode where it's showing you how to make money, how to get funded. There's no reason why you can't win. So go ahead and click the link, pause this episode, go ahead and sign up, and then get back to the episode and keep learning, keep winning, keep growing. Let's get it.
If you somebody who you might be low on your interest-free business funding, I got a hard money lender that'll lend you the money with deferred payments.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
You heard of that yet?
I do it. Yeah. Hell yeah.
So it's deferred payments. Mm-hmm. So I suggest people who just getting started to go with the deferred payment lender.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
You pay a little more, but that interest payment over your head every month, it ain't cool. Mm-hmm. You might have the money, but it's like nobody like paying that interest every single month. Why not pay it when we reach the point of liquidation at the end, whether we refinance or sell? Mm-hmm. So I would go with the hard money lender that's going to give you the best terms. Any hard money lender going to lend anybody money because it's asset-based lending. Mm-hmm. They're not lending on the individual. They lending on the asset and the deal, whether it's enough skin in the game, and are you able to execute the construction process?
Another
Those are two things they want to know.
That's a fact. And it's actually like in Philly, we got a lender here in Philly that does deferred payments, but they not even expensive. That's the funny thing. They cheap, interest rate cheap, everything cheap. It's more like a local lender that they more so want to play the volume game, and they want to, like, believe it or not, they kind of want to help developers. They want to help them like build up. So this one lender, if anybody in Philly, it's called Jumpstart Germantown, but their interest rate is low, the fees are low, lower, I would say, but and they do deferred interest payments, but it's more so like the owner of the company more so want to see more people get involved, but that monthly payments will kill a lot of people. Like, dang, this crap, I'm not done the house yet. I dropped all my money on the down payment. So what you said is super dope. So before we close up, I want to appreciate you for being on here, like, you know, allowing people to hear these 6 and 7 and 8 conversations we have already, but more so just sharing the game, especially in a space where people don't know about it or people too scared to get into it, you know, and just being more transparent, let them know like this is possible. So if you have anything, one, share your Instagram, and two, if you have anything that people can tap into, you know, definitely share it.
100%. So I want to bounce something off of him. He just gave y'all the name of a hard money lender that does deferred payments. I'm gonna give y'all another one that lends money across the whole country. It's called Ground Floor Lending, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. They do deferred payments. They also bake your origination points into the deal as well.
Damn.
So yeah, they really want you to come to the closing table with nothing out of pocket. And if it's enough skin in the game, they'll bake in the closing fees and, you know, title searches and all that kind of stuff as well.
Damn, that's 100%.
Yeah. But so look, I want to do something for y'all. My Instagram is at 3dvisions_, and I live by build your future with vision. In order to hit a target, you got to see it. So you got to have the visions. So go follow me at 3dvisions_. Comment on my last post. Close, because we had to fund it and close podcast.
Close with a D, right?
Close with a D.
But
comment close on my last post, and I'm going to give you a free new construction kit that's going to give you a list of every single land bank in the entire country. It's going to give you an online training on how to execute the deal, and it's going to give you a new construction terminology book.
Damn.
And a lot more stuff. This is a small ticket offer I'm giving away for free. You type in the code BUILD, you're going to get that at no cost. So that's how you can get in touch with me.
That's dope, man. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all tap in, follow him. Look, listen, he giving it to y'all for free. So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So make sure you tap in, make sure you follow him, comment, close. So that way you guys can get access to that. And look, just learn something new. Well, I tell people every day, do something today that your future self want to thank you for. Yeah. Like, you know, you might listen to this podcast, if for whatever reason you might have said, I don't feel like watching this podcast, but you say, let me go ahead and do it. Now your future self may be in development now because you decided to go ahead and do something back, whatever date there was, to go ahead and watch something and learn. Like for me, I thank myself every single day for going to this class I went to. So how I got started, I went to this class and the guy basically told me I should try. So I had owned the house already, but I was living in there. Then I went to this class, and the guy that had the class, he was like, yo, you should try becoming a real estate agent. I'm like, nah, I don't want no parts of that. And he was like, yo, you should give it a shot. And I'm like, I got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Like, I ain't making no money. I ain't whatever. So I went ahead and I took the classes. I failed like 8-9 times. Finally got my license. Yo, that first year, bro, I made $100,000. Like selling houses, commissions. You know, boom, boom, boom. My entire life changed in 1 year from night to day. So I say that to say is like every day I think back, like I'm so glad I went to that class, because like imagine if I didn't go to that class, I would have never. And what got me, and to be honest with you, bro, my lender literally texts me right now. The hard money, I've been using them for years. You know, a lot of times with lenders, they might want you to have a little bit of experience, right? This lender said, I said, I don't have no experience. Like, I never, fixed the house up or anything like that. He said, but the fact that you've been a part of all these transactions, selling houses, selling flips for investors and things like that, you do have somewhat experience. We're gonna clear your loan, approve my construction loan for my first rehab. So it all like You know what I'm saying?
It's all
come together.
trickle effect.
It all come together. It all come together.
So you got that gratitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do is give out some gratitude for you having me here on your podcast. I appreciate it. I got a little gift for you. I want to get to you. Grab that gift for me.
A word?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! Thank you.
Something light, you know what I'm saying? I know you've been on your workout shit.
Thank you, bro.
Read the top and the back right here. 0 sugar, 0 carbs.
Oh my man, thank you. Thank you.
Look,
this is the Kevin Hart one too, right?
You probably know you from
no,
Philly.
I just found this.
I said 0 carbs, 0 sugar. I said, let me get it for my man. He been doing the push-up challenge, all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
so
appreciate you, man.
Let me
That's
show
dope,
some
man.
gratitude
Thank
to
you,
my
thank
man
you, thank
for
you.
having me on here. You know
I appreciate this. Thank you. This is dope. Good people, relationships. Let's get it. So make sure you tap on my guy. Make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you comment on this post close so you can go and get the information. Remember, you have nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain. Let's get it.
I got something else for him.
Oh wait, let's go ahead.
Yeah. You talked about that experience, right? How you was able to leverage your real estate experience.
Uh-huh.
And one of the biggest things people, real estate investors and, inspiring developers, they ask, well, how can I get around the fact I have no experience with new construction? So I'm going to give them the play. This is how we get around no experience in new construction. One, you go pay a GC to sign a letter of completion that says he's going to complete your build to the best of his ability. He's not attached to the debt, and he doesn't have to pull the permit or build the house for you. It's just you paying him to sign that letter of completion, and he has to have some type of experience, which most GCs do. The second option is you pay somebody to buy their experience to where they add you to an operating agreement to a deal that they did. That's the two solutions. If you're talking to a lender that's not offering those two, you need to go talk to somebody else because there's 1,000 hard money lenders out here. And I know you like to give game, get people want to run plays and stuff, good. Right? So look, we can get into new construction, no experience, and leveraging other people's money by running those plays that we just gave them today, and we can get funded and closed.
Yeah. I like that. So for sure, make sure you tap him. That operating agreement thing, that's something we be doing. That's dope. That's a fact right there. So again, bro, appreciate this. Appreciate for sharing game. Appreciate you coming to Philly, and make sure y'all tap in, but not just tap in. Make sure you actually get to work and actually get to it.
Let's get it.